worked together at Central Booking. He was in charge of the photo department. He really was in charge of the whole place. I mean, the lieutenant from fax came in and they want to know where Hubie was. Cop come in, he wanted to know something about the penal law. He wanted to know where Hubie was. He was never judgmental. I never heard him knock anybody. He might say somebody wasn't a little sharp, but he said that could be straightened out with a little bit of work. He went out of his way to help those that needed help. There was a prisoner in a cell. If he was thirsty, Hubie would get him a glass of water. The prisoner would just say, "Hey, can I have some water?" Hubie would go over and get him a glass of water. It didn't make any difference that he was a prisoner or not. He was a human being. I went through a very bad period physically. I needed medical treatment at home. At the time, my sister developed pneumonia, and she couldn't stay with me. Hubie moved in. He spent a week in my house, cooking, cleaning, telling me what to do, telling the visiting nurse what she should do, and telling the doctor what he did that was wrong. I spoke to him a few days ago. We made an appointment to have lunch together at our usual spot. I feel that we'll be there in spirit. I know he'll always be with me. As I said before, I can truthfully say it, in all honesty, I never heard him knock anybody. He was the most judgmental man I ever heard. Everybody had a good point to him. You could bring this guy in for doing something wrong and that guy saying something wrong. Hubie said, "Yeah, it's true, but look at it this way. Maybe he didn't have the brakes. So we got to look at it and say, give the guy a chance." When my mother passed away, Hubie knew I took it hard. He showed up the day of the funeral. He was afraid I might forget to bring a black tie. He brought this tie. He brought this tie to make sure I had a black tie. I had a black tie, but Hubie brought one anyway just to make sure. And that's what I'm wearing now. I could go on for hours. I've never known anybody that didn't have the highest respect for him. He was such a wonderful man. And the goodness that he spread was contagious. When you were with him, you were never down. He loved his family so much, and he was so proud of his children and his grandchildren. And I sort of helped him raise Ben. So I remember when he was a youngster just going to school, Hubie was worried about him. And he said, "I'm going to do everything I can to see that things turn out right." And I thank the Almighty that Hubie lived to see Ben the success he is today. And I attribute that greatly to Hubie. He never knocked anybody. Things were done to him and said about him. Rolled off his back. He never took it out as an enemy attack. He just said, "What are you going to do? We'll get over it." And he did. I know you all loved him. I loved him as only a man can love another man. Closer than a brother. I'll never forget him as long as I live. I think of him every day. I don't have to say it again, but I will. He was without a doubt the most generous, kind, and caring person that I ever met. We had something that you don't know about in the police department. In each command, there's somebody assigned to take care of taking care of sending cards of sympathy, flowers, and things of that nature when someone in the command loses a member of the family or when somebody is sick. And the person does this regardless of what nationality or religion or what they are. Well, Hubie was in charge of this. It wasn't assigned to him. He just took it upon himself to do it. So everybody in the command, 80 or 90 cops and civilians, all knew that if someone was sick, Hubie would send a card to the family. If someone passed away, Hubie would send flowers. Payment for this, we had dues, but not too many. Knowing cops, not too many paid their dues. Somebody was paying for it, and I know who it was, and nothing was ever said about it. The cards were sent, the flowers were sent, the sympathy cards were sent from the command. No mention was made of who sent it, just from the command. I happened to be lucky to work in the office next to you, so I knew that he was taking care of it. He'd go and get the name and the address and find out the hospital, the funeral parlor, the church, the chapel, whatever it was, and he'd take care of it. As I said before, I spoke to him just a few days ago. We talked about the days that we'd do our 5 miles down at Jones Beach, then go to Trader Joe's, stop off, have something to eat, make sure he wrapped up something to take it home, and then we'd have our long discussions about Tom and Jerry. I'm going to miss him more than most of you know, because I came to depend on him. He was living proof that there are good people in the world, people of which nobody can say anything bad. And this I can truthfully say, nobody ever did I hear knock Hubie Gata. He was highly thought of in the command, by his friends, by those that knew him. To me, I thank God that I knew him, and he'll be in my prayers till the day I die. This I promise. Thank you.